I'll get a booster seat. Hold on. I'll sit on one of Mike's things. Booster seat. Fuck it. Is that better? Too much now, isn't it?
No, that's actually a lot better. That's fine.
Booster seats, dude. Thought I was over this when I fucking turned 12.
If I had a second chance, I'd tell you that I love you every day.
What's going on? My name is Anthony, and I am the vocalist for the Exiled Martyr from Phoenix, Arizona. What got me into music, honestly, was probably most likely my mom too, for the most part. When she was pregnant with me, she went and saw Bruce Springsteen. I've always loved the boss anyway, so that's a thing, but I always I wanted to do the band thing. I played trumpet and saxophone, and when I was in like 5th grade. I started playing guitar when I was like 6th grade. Didn't get much better at it, is why I only fucking scream now. But yeah, no, but music, it's always been like a really big thing for me. Like, I've always wanted to do it. I would like daydream about it. I would like do the whole headphone thing every time I'd go to sleep, and I would like pretend I was like whatever school I was at the time. I would pretend I was in like that auditorium, and like everyone fucking stopped fucking with me because they're like, oh, you actually can scream, you know, and like so music was always like a big like release for me, because it always made me feel more secure about myself too, because I was like, I like, this is something I'm comfortable doing. It was like, I suck at talking, I feel like, or like when I would talk to people, I'd feel like I sucked. So music always just kind of like made me, like I said, feel more secure. So that's a big thing. That's why I like music so much. So I guess what got me into music was security. Yeah, no, just life that got me into it. I was born for this shit. So getting involved with the Exiled Martyr, I've known them for years. Like when they first started, we used to always like hang out at this hookah lounge. And they would always talk about the stuff they were doing, and I would talk about like the music I would try to do. And I started I was in my band Hounds at the time, and then we would start playing shows together, and then I left Hounds, I did Altera, and then while that was going on, Exile was still doing their thing like super strong. And some stuff wound up happening, and the vocals at the time for the Exiled Martyr, they went their different ways. And they had hit me up because I knew a lot of their stuff. They already knew, like, dude, will you just fill in for a little bit? And I was like, yeah, dude. Like, there's all friends. And we started filling in. And then things with my band at the time, too, kind of, like, started going out. So it became more of a full-time thing. And then they stopped looking for a vocalist. And we were all, like, super tight friends, because it was like I was saying, like, we would hang out at that hookah lounge and just bullshit all the time. Like, the place would close, and we'd be outside till, like, 3 in the fucking morning just talking about just fucking Veil of Maya, all their stuff, all the stuff I liked. And it just kind of worked out. Like, it was like we were supposed to have met, and like we were always super good friends. And then when I actually joined the band, or I was filling in at first, and everything was just so fluid. Like, it was just, it moved so right, and it felt so huge, and we were all having so much fun. We started playing bigger shows, and I became like a permanent thing. And that was just super fucking fun, because it's like I said, like, we just worked so well together. Like, all of our ideas it was like DJ says it all the time. Like, it's when they get the new Avengers and stuff. Like, it's when a new Avenger joins the group. It's like, yeah, we're stronger now. And Mike showed up, and he was our Spider-Man. So fucking yeah, dude. So the Avengers are complete, and it's just the other day we were even saying, like, we like all got together and we're hanging out and just like had like a good just bro moments together, and we realized it's like we really were supposed to have like all met up. Like, it's never felt as solid as it has until now. And like just like all the things we've done, like, since we've been in the band, like, since we've been doing this shit, like, we've played with like almost all of our favorite bands. Like, when we played the Summer Slaughter tour, that was fucking insane, because the Faceless, they were like sitting there like, those guys are tight. Like, they fucking were like nodding to our thing in the back, and I was like, holy shit. But we played with them, and that was with the Black Dahlia Murder too, and we had played with them again like not too long after that. So that was like, we went from like wanting to play with our favorite bands to like playing with the majority of them almost in like a year, and it was super fucking crazy. We played with like the Black Dahlia Murder twice, and like, holy shit, it's the Black Dahlia Murder. But we're doing that now. We're finally going on tour. Like, we're going all the way, we're going to Texas, but we're going through all these states. Like, I'm going to fucking Tennessee. And I've never been further than California or Vegas. And good Lord, it's nerve-wracking because of like all the progression we've done. Like, so it's scary how great everything's been, because it's actually working now. And it was one thing, because we've all, as individuals, have sat there and we're like, man, we really hope this would work. And we've came together and like, yeah, let's try and make this work. But now it's like, holy shit, this is actually kind of starting to work. And it's always been fun, and we've always loved doing what we're doing, but it's getting so real now that it's just like, holy shit, like, I don't know, like, it's stressful, yeah, because it's real, but it makes it all that much better because it's, in the end, like, all that shit we worked for to do is finally starting to happen, and it's just amazing, honestly. I love the Exiled Martyr, and I love them for taking me in, as broken as I was, so, yeah, it's been fucking great, like, I couldn't have it any other way, I guess, so, that's how I feel about the Exiled Martyr. Definitely when I was a kid, I didn't even really know what it was at first, I guess. Like, I mean, it takes a long time to really realize, like, what stemmed to make you feel, like, what started everything, I feel like. And at least for me, what I feel like happened was, like, when I was a kid, and my parents split up, you know, fucking tragic story, but there was, like, a lot of shit that was involved with it for a really long time. It was, you know, typical, you feel like it's your fault that your parents split up, but, like, legitimately, I felt like it was my fault because I kind of, like, started it. Because some shit, like, I don't want to say too much, but, like, I love my parents, and, like, they've moved past everything that they did too, but there was just certain things that happened that I didn't know I wasn't supposed to speak about. When I would tell my mom something that she didn't know had happened, Dad got pissed because what are you talking about? Like, it super confused me because I thought I was doing the right thing. At first I thought I was making a joke, whatever the fuck, and then it turns out, like, something really bad's going on with mommy and daddy, and I fucking brought a bunch of light to it. And then, you know, conversations of, like, who do you want to live with come up. That fucking, it really rocks your world, dude. Especially because, like, I mean, when everything started going down, like, when they started splitting up, because I would have been one of those, like, if this wouldn't have happened to my family, like, I would have been one of those, like, spoiled ass fucking dumbass rich kids that, like, didn't care about no one other than themselves. Like, my parents, they spoiled us when we were kids. They tried to do everything they could. But then when all the shit, like, went to south, like, we went from living in, like, this really nice 2-story house and, like, all this shit to, like, moving to, like, a 1-bedroom fucking apartment. It was, like, me, my 2 brothers, my mom, my dad, my dog, in this 1-bedroom apartment on, like, south side. And fucking, I used to get fucked with every day, and my brothers got fucked with every day. I hated school. I started to hate life. I hated my fucking dad because he just, when I would tell him these things, and, like, my mom was the only one who ever, like, was there for me no matter what. She always, like, she was like, you're gonna fucking become manic and all this because of, like, how life turned out, and I did, but that's neither here nor, we'll get to that. But my dad just would fucking just not have it, like, nah, you're full of shit, just deal with it, you're fine. He was on his own fucking, at the time, like I said, my parents, bless them now, like, they're not like this anymore, and I love my parents, both of them. Going through this really did make me where I am now, so I do have to thank them for this at the same time. Like, even though they fucked up and they did a lot of shitty things, they still got me to where I'm at now, and they have my mind working the way it does now, and I only see this way because of them. So you just, like, in a sense, like, you have to, like, go through this. Like, I'm almost thankful for this. Regardless, my old man, he wasn't really, like, for a lot of the shit that I did. I was always kind of like a problem child. I did bring him a lot of bullshit though. Like, earlier one time I almost got him arrested because I stole a golf cart and I wasn't home to take the blame. So, like, yeah, that was cool. So he had a lot of reasons to, like, kind of get pissed off at me a lot. But a lot of the time I resented him just because of I felt like what he did to me. And I was like, you make me this way, because my depression, it went from me being like, why me? Why is the world like this? To, like, fuck this, fuck the world being like this, and it turned into, like, a lot of just anger, and I took it out on my brothers a lot, especially my baby brother. I used to fuck with him relentlessly until I, like, actually went and got help and, like, realized I was a little prick and, like, why I was a little prick. And dude, that was a lot to get, like, through, you know. But my parents, though, losing everything essentially, or, I mean, the only thing we had, dude, was us. Like, it got to that point where it's like, yeah, I was sad, but I was, like, sad for all, like, these reasons of just, like, my family was falling apart. Like, my mom wanted to leave my dad. My dad, it didn't seem like he wanted anything to do with any of us because he would just do his thing. So a lot, like I said, like, a lot of it had to do with me thinking, like, I fucking ruined my life for my family. Like, I felt like I did my brothers dirty because I'm the one who shed all this light on shit. I feel like I ruined my mom's life because if I would have never said anything, she would have been fine. And it took me a really long time to kind of get over that. It was hard. I mean, and even then, it's like you see, there's still like things that's like once you like come like with depression, it's almost like you kind of like make things. You know, I don't make things to make it worse, but it's like any little thing that adds to it, it just makes it worse, and you just like let it happen. It's almost like setting yourself up for failure, if you will, because like it's like you know that this is wrong or whatever, or you've seen it happen before, but you let this life cycle repeat because you've already been through it and you're used to it, and it's like, oh well, this already sucks, so how much worse can it really get? Ha ha. And then it just gets worse and it gets worse, and it's like a really serious thing. And so when it like hit for me, I do carry a lot of it into like my music, especially like the music also kind of like helped me with that, but because like there was times where like my old man wasn't really for this bit at all. Like he's only been to like one show, and like my whole thing was I wanted him to like, I guess, kind of like be like, oh wow, he's actually doing something good for himself now, because like my band's are gonna be going on fucking tour. He goes, oh holy shit, you know, like are you gonna make money on it? Probably not, but we're gonna have fun, and I'm doing what I wanted to do. And he was always under like, you're just doing nothing in a garage, smoking and being stupid. And that wasn't even like the case. Like I busted my ass, and like a lot of that would bug me too, because I just felt like no one. Like my mom's always had my back, but even she was kind of like, you know, maybe you should give it up, and it's a hobby. But I didn't. I really feel like I've had my whole family pretty much tell me I need to stop, and that sucked. And like, especially like when you have people really close to you like that, like your support network, and all of a sudden they're kind of like, well, maybe it is time to hang it up, but you're just like, no, like you aren't supposed to be telling me this. You're supposed to be like, do it. Like my grandmother's all like, nah, fuck them, do it. Like, bless you, grandma. Depression comes like, there's many different forms of it, I guess, especially for me. Like I can randomly go from like being like this, you know, and like super stoked to like when you start like really thinking about all the things that like happen, it's like, holy crap. And then that problem is now what's giving you depression. Like I don't know, there's just, I'm like rambling at this point now, but just depression's a super serious thing, and I have dealt with it since like I was like 8 or 9, on and off. Like I really, really have, and yeah, depression is a bitch. At first, yeah, the depression definitely did get worse over time. I did a lot of self-harm, and like that was my coping mechanism for a long time. It was a lot of self-medications, and not just like smoking like weed or anything like that. Like I did dumb shit, like not hard drugs. I'm not gonna dive too much into it, but I did, because like growing up, like that's what I like when shit went south. From what I saw, you just got high, and it didn't exist anymore. And I thought that was a cop-out, an excuse, stupid, you already smoke cigarettes when you're mad. Then I like did it, you know? And eventually it blended all together to a point to where when I wasn't sober and I was thinking about everything, it was that much worse. So it did get worse and worse and worse. And then finally, like, when I did get sober and I had to deal with it, it fucking broke me. Because then I spent a lot of time just being depressed of how much of a fucking waste I was. Like how bad of a person I was. Because, yeah, I was depressed, but then I started doing shit to make me feel better. But by making myself feel better, I was out of my mind, doing dumb shit, hurting a lot of people, burning a lot of bridges, doing things I wouldn't fucking do, or that I'm against. And there's a lot of people I owe apologies to because of it. And, I mean, I'm way better now about it. Because it's like, I could care less about getting out of my mind like that. Like I have nothing to like bear anymore. Like I've already been through like what I feel like I'm gonna be through. Like I got my demons. That's what this video is, you know. It's letting everyone know that they have their fucking demons, and it does get worse no matter what. There's not gonna be a single person who's gonna say, oh no, it was only there. I got over it, because then it wasn't you. It didn't really fuck with you that much. But yeah, I definitely got way worse before I got better, and I had to pretty much be sick and tired of being sick and tired. As cliche as it sounds, but it's real as fuck. Like you gotta like wake up one day and be like, what the fuck am I doing? Like I'm gross. Like I'm doing this to myself all because of this. And then it's kind of like you have like that one spur, like fuck that, I'm better than this. And even then it's a lot easier said than done, because you'll feel that way, but then 3 hours later you can be like, man, fuck. As far as me, like how I got through it, it was just, like I said, I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired. And when you like look in the mirror, dude, and you see like the person you blamed for everything for as long as you could, like it was like his fault or this person's fault, and then you like look and you just like you finally see it like in your own fucking eyes. It's like, yo, you did this. And you gotta start taking the blame for your mistakes. Yeah, you're depressed, but if you're gonna be a fucking train wreck, admit that you're a train wreck about it and like fix it. And that's pretty much where I realized like I had to, like that's where I had to make things better. It was like I had to. There was no it's going to be better or one day. It was like I have to do this now. Like I have to make that change as my decision. And that's as far as it really goes for with depression, I feel like, or at least you have to hit rock bottom before you can actually like get any higher, you know what I mean? Like the only place to go is up once you hit the ground, so you just go up. At first, no, I try not to keep it to myself. My mom, when I would speak to her about things and tell her like how I was feeling, she was always like, oh, my baby. But then I would tell my dad and he'd be like, no. And like I was wrong for feeling like that. Basically, like the fuck's the matter with you, you know? So it was really like back and forth. So I thought, you know, mom's gonna make me feel better no matter what. That's her friggin' job. So her point's invalid. I can't talk to my brothers about this because I gotta be like the older badass. Like I'm the oldest. Like I can't be like, oh man. I was there for them when they were like that. I let them be like that to me. And I couldn't be that one. And so I did keep it to myself for a long time, and that's what started to make me so angry and start really fucking up and wanting just to like just not exist almost, because it's like I had to handle everyone's problems. I took on what happened with my parents. It was my fault, but like my brothers are all upset about it, and like because I thought it was my fault, I felt bad for them because now they're like, why is this happening? And I can't tell them that, you know, what's on my mind because I'm coddling them. So it like eventually, like when I did seek help, I guess I didn't even really seek help. I got one of my friends at the time tricked me kind of into going into this anger camp, depression camp thing, and tricked me pretty much by like telling my mom she thought I needed it, and my mom's like, yeah, if you want to go you can, it's like a camp thing. And I was like, oh, that'd be cool, I get the hell away from my family. And then I go, and like, man, I was not fucking happy at first. I was like, I don't give a fuck about anyone's problems. I got my problems. Because like I had told this friend of mine my life story pretty much. Like I like the dirty. And she felt like I had a lot of pent up shit. I thought I was fine. But she made me go through this like really just healthy release at this camp. I forget the name of it, but it really did help me out a lot, because it went from me feeling like I was just angry all the time to like that was when I probably realized I was depressed all the time, was because of like how sad I was and just not believing it in myself, and just like, I don't know, I blame myself for everything. Like I always blamed like other people, but then like I realized like I was still blaming myself for like a lot of other shit. And when I finally like did like talk about it, like it was amazing, because like that I finally felt like release. Like that expression, like weight off your chest, is so fucking real, because like you don't really realize like how much you're really harnessing until like you do talk about it. And then I guess I got too comfortable and I started talking about it all the time with everyone, like telling them my life story. And that's another thing like I felt like I needed to be careful about, because then I actually lost a friend because they had told their parents about like, oh, like Anthony's been through this and that, and they're like, okay, well you can't go over to his parents' house anymore, you can't do this anymore, we don't want you hanging out with him, he's a bad kid. And it was all because I felt a certain type of way. So that really always fucked me up too. It was just like, yo, like my life doesn't make me a bad person. Like it just sucks. Like it's like that judgment shit. Like you could tell, like it was like the same shit my dad was doing. I was like, no, you don't feel like that, don't tell people that shit, and people will think less of you almost, you know. And that's why I feel like it makes it hard. Like it made it hard for me to even talk about shit at first. I didn't want to be a bother to anyone, and I didn't want to come off weak. But I wasn't. Like I needed help. I was fucking broken, dude. Like if it's broke, you gotta fix it. If you keep driving on a friggin' flat tire, your rim's gonna get worse. And if your rim gets worse, fucking you can't drive that. You gotta get a new rim or whatever. But if you don't do that, you just wind up fucking a bunch of other stuff up. And then now you probably just ruin the front end of your car. So instead of ruining your life, just talk to someone. And that's what I realized I needed to do. Like I had some people who liked me. I knew a lot of people growing up. Like I was super friendly, but I had 3 friends that like I fucking relied on for everything, and they're the 3 friends that knew everything about me, like fucking everything. And to this day, I still like those 3 friends. It's like I love everybody, like I really do, but like those 3, it's like I wouldn't fucking be here if I didn't have those 3 dudes to like call at like 3 in the morning randomly, because like that was it. Like I couldn't do it, and yeah, blessed. You gotta have your good support network. It really helps. But talk about it. Don't keep it in, because it's like, even if you like, if you think you are, or if you don't know if you are, ask. Because like if you see someone about it, because you never know, because like a doctor will tell you, you know, people feel like doctors will tell you what a doctor's gonna say to prescribe you things. You don't have to take fucking medicine, but you can go get like an idea. Someone could be like, yo, you might be sick, or like this may have happened. And especially like therapists, like if you go just talk about it, because it's funny how fucking far back they'll trace something, or like the way your brain thinks, like the way you make decisions, to one fucking thing that happened when you were a kid, and you don't even realize that until you really think about it. So it's just be open, don't be afraid. Like it's easier said than done, but you gotta be open about it. So this one's actually really rough. I think like the darkest time I went through was when I actually I did attempt to kill myself, and it was super dumb. Like I won't get too much into it, but like whatever I did, it didn't fucking work, and I woke up fucking pissed, and it was like the next day. At the time, what was going through my mind at that moment was I had fucked up something really. I thought I failed like my son at the time, and that was it. Like I felt like I was repeating like what happened to me when I was a kid, kind of in like a weird way, even though it was completely different. I still felt like I was gonna make the same fucking problems that I had made for me, but just at a way younger age for him, and it wasn't fair. And I really thought that what I was gonna do would be better off, because he was so young, he wouldn't have known me, wouldn't have fucking mattered. And I was super fucking how far off and wrong I was, and I'm super glad that this that it didn't happen now, 100%. Like it was a dumb, but I was just super fed up with everything. I got sick of feeling like I wasn't good enough for anyone. I was always pissing people off. I felt like anytime I said something, it was just like I was either getting under someone's skin, or like people just thought I was stupid, and I just got way too into my own head. I was like, man, I really just am unworthy. Like I wanted to do music, but like I felt like music is what ruined my relationship with my son's mom at first, and that's why we split, was because just I was worried too much about what other people thought of me than what she thought of me. And it all got to me because I started to realize it was all my fault. Like I just needed to be a better person, and because I wasn't, I figured I was worthless. I got everything that I went through as far as healthy release went out the fucking window, and I just didn't want to be here anymore. And I remember just being super drunk, super fucked up on these pills, and that was it, dude. And I woke up angry, and I went to go take a bus somewhere. I don't even fucking remember, but what I do remember was there was this crackhead looking dude just freaking out walking, Phoenix, but he stopped what he was doing when he passed me at the bus stop, and all of a sudden was just completely straight, no more fidgety, and he sat down next to me, and he read me some Bible verse off the top of his head. I was whatever at first, but I thought it was weird how he just got super straight, told me this Bible verse, but then told me, he goes, every day is worth it. And I don't remember exactly what he said, but he said every day is worth it. Even when you feel like you can't go on anymore and it's that's it and you just want to give up, you can't, because you are supposed to do something great. You definitely are here to do something great. Everyone is, but you specifically are here to do something great. And I thought that was the weirdest fucking thing, especially because it was like I said, that night before, I was that was it. I thought that was it. And then I was like, whatever, dude. And I thought it was weird until, like, it was like a week later after that is where, like, wanting to, like, live really kicked in, was because I got robbed randomly. I was straight mugged at, like, walking home 2 in the morning from, like, a CVS. I had an iced tea and M&M minis. And they, like, robbed me for everything. They took my phone, my candy, my drink, my wallet. They took all my shit. And all 3 of them had guns, and all 3 of them were freaking pointed at my head. And they told me they were gonna fucking kill me. And, you know, like, prior, I wanted to die. That moment, not so much. And that really, really kicked with that the dude at the bus stop. It really kicked what he said into gear. Like, when those dudes ghosted and they took off, they're like, turn around, whatever. I was like, nah, like, turn. I thought I was gonna die if I turned around, and like I would not, you know. And they got in their car, they skated off, and I just remember just being like, holy shit, I've never been so happy to be alive. And that was the last time I really felt that negatively about my life. And like, you could realize like how much good really is in life. And then you see, like, obviously, like, I went from being there to like now I'm in the spot I wanted to be, where I'm in a band going on tour doing this. Like, I feel like I'm living my best life now. I got my kid. My son is like happy and healthy. He's fucking gonna be 7 in October, and I couldn't be more proud of a little boy. I got my stepdaughter, who, like, if I would have done what I did that night, would have never met her, would have never had the chance of being her stepdad. I wouldn't have had the chance to meet half of the people I knew, because all this happened right before I started diving into the music scene. This was like the year before I actually started doing stuff. That was when like all this happened. Like right before I met all of you, I pretty much was like this wreck. And I guess part of it, you could say, like, the music scene did kind of help me out a lot, because I finally found like my place. I always wanted to be here. I just never knew how to get here. And then it got to a point where I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go there. And I did. And it really did help me out a lot. But yeah, just those worst thoughts that you have in your head, man, they can really like get to the better of you. But you just gotta, like, negative things are you just, I don't know, you just gotta fight through it, as hard as it is, as easy as it is to say. But you're gonna have those negative thoughts all the time. Even if bad things don't happen to you all the time, you probably think something bad about yourself, and it's so fucking normal. And that's all I really like have to say about it. And there's nothing wrong with you for thinking these things about yourself, but you just gotta remember, like, in the back of your head, that it's not true, and that you can't do these things to yourselves. No matter how you can say it all you fucking want, but you can't do it. And that's like a big thing. And it's easier said than done. I know I keep saying that, but because it is. But you just gotta, like, remember to tell yourself that, like, it's not, even when you feel like it's not worth it, it is. You just, there's gonna be something tomorrow that you're gonna be super glad you found, or the next day, or 2 weeks from now, or whenever. But you gotta not let things really, don't sweat the small stuff, because it's all small stuff. So where I am today, as far as depression goes, is I still have little battles with myself, but I just fight back against myself, and I have to look at myself, and yeah, it's almost negative, because like I'll think of something, and I'll like look at myself like, you're stupid, and like, yeah, it's not good to call yourself stupid, but if you're calling yourself stupid for the right reasons, it works out. It's positive reinforcement. I'm always gonna be back and forth. Anyone is, no one really ever comes out of it 100%. It's like an addict. Like, you're never not an addict. You're always in recovery. And you're always going to be dealing with some kind of monster, and that's normal. And just like me, like I still always have these battles with me where I could be a better dad, because like a lot of it, like me being in the band, does that make me a shitty dad? Like, I'm going on tour for a week and I'm not going to be there to see my kids. Like, I'm not going to be able to there to like help my baby girl brush her teeth at night. I can't call my son, or I can call my son, but I'm not going to be like around the block from his mom's house to go there and be like, hey, you know, stop acting up. Like, it's really difficult, and then those are things that you're gonna think about for, like, there's always gonna be something that you think about, but you're always gonna, in the end, like, you just gotta remember, like, you're gonna be better. And that's what I tell myself is like, I'm fine. Like with what I'm doing now, like you just got to find your coping mechanism. Like me, like my music now, like that's what I always wanted the coping mechanism to be. When I was a kid and I would play my music, like my parents would be fighting, I'd be playing my saxophone or my guitar, you know, like there. And you don't realize it until like later on, I guess, that like you're that release. I have it now. So like playing the shows, writing the music, just listening to music, just music in general, like there's always something that I can relate to or bounce off of, or there's some song that reminds me of this or gives me that kind of feeling. Like when I listen to Hybrid Theory, it reminds me of that one bedroom apartment, and it's like the craziest feeling. And the music, it's just it keeps those memories alive, like good or bad, but like I relive it all the time, and it's nostalgic and it's good, and it makes me remember where I am now and how much better I am now. And I guess like just as far as advice goes for like someone who might be struggling the same thing, just keep going. Find it's easier said than done. I've said this 100 times, but you gotta, like, there's gotta be something you can put your mind into that you love 100%. Something, like, whether it's video games, coloring, flipping bottles so they land with water in them. I don't know, like, you know, there's something you do that makes you the happiest ever. Something, anything. There's no way that, like, I don't know, like, you might feel like there's nothing that makes you happy, but there is. And what you just need to do is just like act on that and like really just balls to the wall with it. Like, don't let anyone deter you. If it's something that you think someone's gonna be like, oh, that's weird, more for you. They don't need anything. And that was like a big thing with me. I always thought like being a front man and running around on stage and doing all the weird dance things, and I always thought I'd look dumb as hell when I would do it. And then like I thought people were gonna think I look stupid, and everyone loves it apparently. Like they all, well, I'm interesting. There's energy behind it. And I still think I look stupid as hell when I do it. But I'm having fun, and I'm feeling good by doing it because I love doing that. And I don't care what anyone has to say or think anymore. So my advice is really gonna be just find your niche. Find something that makes you happy, and I don't care what it is. As long as it's not harming yourself physically, mentally, like don't do drugs, don't drink to make yourself feel better, don't smoke to make yourself feel better, because all that's temporary. You need something that's gonna be there forever. Even if it's like something as simple as a stress ball, or something as crazy as starting your own band and like really trying to have something to put your mind into to build that you can call your own and be proud of. Whatever it is, it's for you to find out. But my best advice would be just look for it, because I bet you haven't really searched for it. So, yeah.